Okay, hello, this is Chris. I'm sorry that I ignored the live stream for the first part here, and maybe you guys heard some background chatter. I'm going to turn on the camera here in a second. Actually, I can do something here. Let me show people what I'm going to be seeing here. This is not working. Apologies. Okay, I'll just use this. So here's my telescope setup, and I'm going to, in a moment here, be showing the view through that camera. Clouds keep going in when I try and do something. Okay, well, you can still take a picture. Unbeknownst to the viewer, there was no sun being seen at that moment. I am not. It's pretty heavy clouds, and Nicola's not much either. No, there's nothing to see at the moment. Apologies. And I'm going to be setting the camera up there in a minute. So, oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I don't know if anybody's on this live stream. You haven't seen very much here because I have failed so far to get my camera set up. The sun keeps going in and out of clouds, which is making it difficult. The screen you see to the right of me here is what I'm seeing on my screen, so nothing yet. Apologies. I'm going to keep working on the tech here and see if we can get this working. Just checking in here. I don't know if there's anybody on my stream. We've been having little glimpses of the eclipse. It's definitely in progress. I have not yet been able to get the tech to work for my view to be very visible. So we keep getting glimpses of cool eclipse out here. I'm glad I've caught some of them, but the clouds are really pretty intense. So that is the status out here. I apologize. My feed has been not what I've been hoping for. I'll switch back to my desktop view so you can see that. As you can see, I am hunting for focus and not finding it. You can see over my if anyone's looking at my stream, it's not a very satisfying one right now. Come on, man. Give me. Okay, now we're looking. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking.
Those classes are right here, and the live feed.
As you can see, now we're actually getting somewhere with this. As you can see, now we're starting to actually see the eclipse through the telescope here, and yes, it's actually getting kind of dramatic. I'm liking this. Okay, I'm going to work on focus and such. There we go. Here, no, you can't look through the scope, but you can see on my computer here. See? So you can see a couple of sunspots. Whoa is right. I agree. Okay, you can see some clouds are coming in here, but I've finally got a reasonable focus on this thing. Okay, for those on the stream, we're now, it's clearing up a little bit, so I can see a couple of nice sunspots going on here. And we're in a pretty good part of the eclipse here, I'd say. It's bouncing around a little bit because I'm reaching over and adjusting the knobs. I don't think my focus is quite perfect, but it's not bad either. I'm actually going to switch my region of interest here. Nope. That's what I was trying to do earlier. It was hard. It was hard with the clouds coming and going so much. But that's the view that I'm going for. If anybody wants to see the view through my camera, you can see it here.
It's like sunspots.
Yes, yes. We're able to pick up some sunspots. Now the camera's not quite as good as your eyes, but with the eye earlier, we could also see prominences. And if you get the chance, I think the Lens telescope and some of the other telescopes here will let you do. Actually, it's probably better to do with some of the filtered telescopes with the eyepiece. You should be able to see a few little prominences around the edge of the sun as well. And I think that just is adds a nice filigree to the eclipse.
Are those like flares?
Those are gas that is sort of erupting or caught up in the magnetic field of the sun, and they make these arcs or spikes or curtains along the edge.
In normal days, we cannot see them with the telescope.
You can on normal days as well. It's just nice to do.
Yeah. I was wondering.
Yeah, no, it's totally features of the sun. The only thing that's special here is the moon coming in and covering it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody's listening to the audio of my stream here, but we have the I need to pull that studio into the same window. We have an image of the sun here with the moon covering it partially. I'm going to touch up the focus just a tiny bit.
Not totally locked, but it's one day on Roku. Is that a sunspot there on this one?
Yeah, it is. It is, and I want to try and get it in a little bit better focus. So this is just like going to the optometrist. I'm going to turn this a little bit, and I'm going to ask myself, did that get a little better, or did it get a little worse? And I'm actually going to pull the exposure time down just a little bit so that we're seeing a little bit more of the features.
That's a live stream from one of our telescopes.
Come back to space or demo over there. I won't have anything in my number.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless you have a really big head.
Yeah, that's more than I was hoping to see when I looked out the window and saw
I-
the clouds this morning.
I know, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and then once you're done seeing stuff or maybe there are clouds that come.
iPhone's not doing too bad a job with it through the filter.
There you go. There you go.
And other things over here too.
That's better than I would expect for just an iPhone shot. I'm going to have to try that.
It's a 5x lens. The only problem is that the ambient light sensor is getting blocked by the glasses, so it thinks it's dark. Even though it's bright.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to mess with it too much then.
But all I've done is if I lift it off a little bit so that some light gets in.
Ah, okay, there you go. Good technique. I feel like my focus is still not quite right. There we go. That's what I'm seeing here. Yep. Come on around and take a look. Well, now it's gone behind a cloud again, but it'll come back. Yep, it's just a little camera. It's particularly sensitive because I like to use it at night on stars. So the sun is actually a challenging object. It's almost too damn bright. I have to set my that's, I don't know if you know, okay. So microseconds.
He can put that camera on and then put it there.
There it's coming back.
Wait,
There it's coming back.
The sun is coming out.
Coming back. There we go.
Hey, that's a nice camera. Huh?
Computer watching.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm also streaming it, so when you guys go inside, this one and two telescopes over there are the two ones that we are streaming inside. So hopefully they're projecting it up on the big screen.
Yeah, very. There's the inside of it.
Oh yeah. If you so right over there, there's green building.
Oh.
Go in there. You can pick up some Eclipse glasses. You can get a little bit of the science of the Eclipse, and also, this view and Nicola's well when it comes back.
We'll go there and take a look.
Yeah. Check it out.
Okay, let's look at the. I guess it's
Yeah.
coming out soon.
But definitely, no, we have Eclipse glasses for all three of you, so definitely go inside. Oh, you've already got them. Okay, good. Oh, you good. Okay. Good then. Oh, hey, you want to help me? You want to help me out here? So it's not quite lined up. I need somebody to turn this knob here. Are you willing to do that for me? I'm going to need to turn it that way. This way.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise. And this knob here.
Go.
And watch what happens on the screen here when you do it.
Oh, good job.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, so we've got a sunspot there.
That's huge, right? Is that
It
normal?
is. Oh yeah.
Normally that big?
Yeah, definitely.
That's huge.
I mean, we're in an active part of the solar cycle, so we tend to see a good number of sunspots right now. I might need help again. Look at that. It's drifting off. Anybody want to help?
All right. Your turn.
So counterclockwise.
Alvin, go.
Hang on for a second.
Your turn.
Don't go too far. Okay, perfect. Look at that. We're lining it right up. I appreciate
but
that.
you notice like it's biting off from the bottom?
It's always going away.
Yeah.
The sun's moving away.
Well, that just so the sun's not. We can be pedantic. The sun is moving, but it's moving less. We're mostly moving. So the Earth turns around, and that's why it's. So this is trying to counteract the motion of the Earth, so we can actually follow the sun.
Andrew, look. It's a tiny tadpole.
All right, let's look at another one.
So that's the image that I'm capturing with that camera right there. And actually, you want to help me out?
Yeah.
So this knob here, I need it to be turned a little bit to the counterclockwise. And when you do it, watch what's happening here, and you'll bring the sun back into the middle of view. You want to do that for me? Not that one, the other one. other one there, and just turn it slightly left. We don't have to go very far, just a little bit this way. Yep. Perfect. Look at that. You brought it back in. And now I'm going to turn this one just a little bit. I don't know which way to turn it, so I have to. Is that getting better? I want to. Oh, nope, it's going the wrong way. There we go. There we go. Now it's nicely centered. Awesome.
Can you see prominences on your?
I can. I have to stretch the. Okay, so I'm at 157, 194. If we change this to a lot longer, no, that's too long. Let's do this.
This is the
Bring this down.
shutter speed or something?
Yeah, it's basically the shutter speed, and I am trying to see if I can get my camera working again. I tried to switch over and show the prominences of the camera, and I somehow got it confused. So, okay, you will see that I'm having some technical difficulties here. Oh, network connect failed. That's interesting.
Oh, that was it?
My stream may or may not be streaming at the moment. We'll see. I'm going to help some people out with some IP stuff here.
Is this the maximum, or do we expect it to?
It is. It'll get a little bit more, but about 920 should be the maximum. And I don't know whether they're. Hopefully, in there they're being able to show the annular, because there's some places in Utah and things like that are able to see the annular eclipse. Us, it's only about 75%. So it won't look that much different than what we've been seeing, but that is the max. The maximum would be about 920.
Okay.
And then it'll get less and less and less.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's try this again. So you were asking, yeah, I'm using a virtual machine with my capture software, and it was working earlier, but just recently here it's been behaving weirdly. Okay, gain is very low. Exposure time, let's do this. Around there was what was working before. Woo!
It's like what, 70% or 80%?
70 or 80%. So this is near, we're about near peak eclipse, just so folks know. In the next few minutes will be the peak. Just to talk to my stream a little bit here.
5 more minutes?
Yeah, about 5 more minutes. It's not going to be tremendously different than what we've seen before, but it's still, more coverage.
So it's gonna be like full cover? Is the full?
Say what?
Is it gonna be like full solar eclipse here?
No. We're in an area where we get partial eclipse, and one of the things, it's part of the reason that we set everything up inside there. Hopefully, if they're doing what they're supposed to be in there, they'll be switching between what we're seeing here, which is a partial, and then hopefully some live streams from like Utah, Nevada,
From there is gonna be full?
where it's as full as it'll get. This eclipse will be what's called annular. So basically, the moon is a little further away in its orbit than some other times. So imagine you have the sun and the moon right in front of it, but the moon's not quite big enough to it's just a little further away, so it looks a little smaller, angular size, a little smaller.
Oh, you call it angular?
It's called annular,
Annular.
which means like ring.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So we won't see the ring, unfortunately, here, but they'll be able to show it inside. Okay, for the purposes of the live stream here, I'm just going to give you my impression as I'm looking through the eyepiece. I'm sorry I messed up the camera earlier, so we can't. I'm not be able to stream this right now, but I'm seeing the eclipse at pretty much maximum right now, and I see some gorgeous prominences along the edge. So from the view here, the moon has come in from the right side and covered most of the sun. I see it looks like just like a perfect crescent moon, as it were. And then at about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I see a sort of a curtain prominence off to the left. And then up at the top, I see another prominence. So I'm seeing like 4 prominences in addition to the eclipse. Now the clouds have come in, so now I'm not seeing so much anymore. But I just wanted to kind of narrate what I was able to see with this telescope. Unfortunately, my camera's not working right now, so I can't show it to you, but I wanted to at least narrate it. Since we're at the peak eclipse, it's kind of a cool moment. So I'm going to set my camera up, and we'll be able to see some more as the eclipse winds down, which will take another hour or so. But yeah, there's some gorgeous prominences. 2 prominences up at about 12 o'clock. At 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, there's like a curtain prominence. And then I definitely see hints of some a little bit further down on the limb on the left-hand side. Hopefully Nicola's getting some of those nice features with his telescope. Yeah, awesome stuff. Fun here at the eclipse. We are just about at the maximum eclipse, so if that's important to you, check it out. This is about as covered as the eclipse is going to get for us here in San Jose. If you've only been out here, I would encourage you to go into the room after you've taken in the eclipse here and ask them if they have any live streams from along the path of annularity. And those will look a little different because the moon will get all the way in front of the sun. You'll see a little ring of fire around the edge. No one's seeing a total eclipse today. Nobody's seeing that. We're only seeing either an annular eclipse or this, which is the partial eclipse. But this is max. We won't show up here. We're too far west. We're in Utah, Oregon, Nevada, that sort of place to be able to see the ring of fire. And we should have some live streams in the building. That's one of the things they're doing.
You guys rock.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay, we're getting back on the sun here. Eclipse 2. Okay, if anybody's looking here, you can see a sunspot there. This actually is my better focus than I've had for most of these.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the maximum eclipse as captured by my camera here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And yeah, feel free to take a picture of the screen if you want.
Yeah. Thank you. I did.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's good technology and knowledge of cameras.
Yeah, it's lots of fun. Somebody was saying they were able to get an image with their eclipse glasses and their iPhone, but they had to it was tricky, and I don't want to mess my camera up. So.
Yeah, it's tricky. It should be some settings or something.
Camera on mine, so I see.
So is it moving away from it now?
It's coming through. It's not coming through a whole lot. Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry, a little bit. So yeah, his is eyepiece. Mine is real similar to the telescope. I just put a camera on there, and then I'm trying to stream it. So there should be somewhere in the YouTube world there should be a stream that is It is.
So it's like this is like past the Ring of Fire, right? Like
So the
like,
Ring of the Ring of Fire is only happening along a narrow strip of the U.S., which is east of here. So we didn't see the Ring of Fire at all. We're past the peak eclipse for us, but it's just this kind of partial eclipse. Alrighty. Now let's turn that off.
It's right here, Koga.
Okay, now I can do this. And I can increase the zoom. There we go. There we go. Just took a little bit of fiddling. Focus is still pretty good. We got some clouds, but I don't think anybody's on my live stream, but if they are, I'll just narrate here for a moment. I've been away from the telescope for a little while, just checking out what's going on with the rest of the eclipse activities here at Houge Park. I'm going to try and, in the last little bits of the eclipse here, if it's clear, I'm going to try and slip my camera in there so you can see a little bit more view before I shut off this live stream. I don't know if it was obvious watching behind me and overhearing things, but there were about several hundred people here. I think we had a pretty good eclipse event. Views with the eclipse glasses have been kind of dramatic, actually, because of the clouds going back and forth. It's been a challenge for my scope, especially because I have manual tracking, which works great when the sun is there continuously, but when it comes and goes, it's really easy to get off of the sun and then have to fiddle with it to bring it back in. So I've been swapping out and putting on the eyepiece. It's just a little easier for folks to take in. So I planned to be on the camera the whole day through the live stream, but that just didn't happen. So.
What kind of a filter are you using?
Say what?
What kind of a filter are you using?
So this is a solar hydrogen alpha filter.
Oh, I see.
So I have what's called a single stack. So it's a little wider band, but it's around hydrogen alpha 651 angstroms or something like that. Some of these, like I think Lynn's over there and Nicole is a double stack, so you actually have two of these filters, and it really pushes down. Basically, what you're doing with that filter is the sun gives off light in all different wavelengths, and that's just from it being hot. and then it gives off in hydrogen, and that's coming from this particular hot gas, like the gas and the gas at a certain temperature. So if you push down everything else, and you just look at that hydrogen alpha line, then the variations in brightness and things like the prominences will be enhanced. So the contrast here you will see is lower than some of the other ones. That's just because I didn't shell out another $1,000 for another
Right.
one of those filters. So it's just a matter of but I think it's actually kind of cool to like see different people's equipment because it gives you a better sense for how much better image do I get for that extra $1,000, for example. So this is the relatively cheap telescope. It's still, I think it's $700 or $1,300 or something like that.
Okay.
The mount is definitely cheap. It's just a manual mount. There's no motor on here or anything like that. And I was streaming for a while with my CCD camera. So the CCD camera is probably more expensive than the rest of the kit. But
How are the two connected?
right now they're not.
They're not,
This is
right.
just sitting there,
Yeah.
and that's why because they have the eyepiece in there.
Okay.
But I was gonna put that in. Now the challenge is when I put the camera in, we'll see it here, but I'll have to adjust the focus. So, actually, does it look like we're gonna have the sun for a little while here? Yeah, let's try it. You guys, did everybody who's standing around here get a chance to look through the eyepiece?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then let me switch in the camera, and you'll see the camera. Camera will do a nice job of. Let me switch to this one. The camera will do a nice job of giving us like a detailed image in terms of structure, but the thing that it's bad at is it does not show both bright things and faint things at the same time. So your eye could see the subtle differences in the sunspot brightnesses, and you could at the same time see the brightness difference of the prominences from the background. That's basically too hard a job for the camera. So the camera, we can, with this telescope, again because of the contrast, the ratio that it's capable of delivering, like I can see prominences and sunspots with my eye easily here, but with the camera, even after we get it in focus, it is not going
Oh,
to.
there are many. There are at least like 3 or 4.
It is. We're not going to be able to see, I think, the
Sunspots here.
the sunspots. Well, we will see the sunspots, but not the prominences usually. So
I
what's
still
going
do
on
not
here?
understand what prominences are, but anyway.
Yeah, I can explain that in a second here. Okay, do we have our settings right? Okay. So the problem is, it's both probably not aligned right and out of focus. So let's see here. And there's clouds, so we have all kinds of things making this harder than you think it should be. Tell me if you see the sun go by as I'm fiddling with stuff.
No, I don't see anything yet.
Oh, I see something.
I mean, yeah,
Upper right,
yeah.
right?
On, it's. I think you have to move it to the, I don't know, right or left. It's here, so it needs to come a little to the left.
Okay, that means.
Yeah, I
turn
see
it this
something.
way. Bring it in a little bit. Oh, yep.
It's on top.
Yep. Stop moving it! Don't move it! Okay, now I can adjust the focus. Oh, why is that so faint? Let me increase the gain. Oh, it's probably faint because it's really far out of focus. But let's do this. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just the focus now.
And there's also clouds. Continuing to make it difficult here.
They're gone now.
Is it getting better? Oh,
Oh, there you go. Oh, almost sharp.
went past it. Overshot. That happens sometimes. Oh, I know what it is. I keep thinking I know which way to turn it, but I put the camera in probably in a different orientation than I did before. So my instinct for which way I need to turn the knobs to get it to go in different directions is all wrong. That's what's going on here. Okay. All right. We're close.
Chandana. Oi, Chandana, baile.
I can change the gain.
ಆಗೋಯ್ತು 10:40ಗೆ ಮುಗ್ದೋಗುತ್ತೆ. It's 10:30.
Yeah, we're still seeing a little eclipse. It's definitely there.
Yeah, I think we'll be done in 6 minutes.
Yeah. There we go. Getting better focus.
Oh, cool.
There we go. Look at those.
Yeah. Oh,
look
now
at
I
those
can see
sunspots come in.
spots.
Yeah. Okay. Now what we were talking about before. So the camera will do a better job of giving us like detailed spatial information, but it's not as good as the eye at seeing both the bright and the faint. So you guys, I think some of you folks got a chance to look through with the eye, and your eye, you could see both those sunspots and the prominences.
Yeah.
But the camera just can't do that. Right, like I would have to crank the gain way up in order to see the prominences, and that would blow out the surface of the sun. And it's that gain thing that's really challenging for astrophotography. So a lot of times you'll see with solar images, either they've got a really good telescope that does better job of filtering, so they've made the surface just generally less bright, and the prominence is generally relatively brighter, right? Or they're digitally enhancing it later on. They're taking a bright image and a faint image
And then
and stacking them
composing
together
them.
so that you
Yeah.
see both the surface features
Yeah,
and
makes
the.
sense. You can actually see the sunspot there.
Sorry that it was so long for me to get that back in, but hopefully
this
that
is
was
so
worth
cool.
it to
we
kind of see.
actually learned a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
I love that. I love those sunspots together with the sun there. That 3.
Almost over.
Yeah, I know, almost over.
Almost 6 minutes. 5 minutes. Whatever.
Okay. I can turn this back on here.
Yeah. But this doesn't like track the sun or anything, right? Like you need to do it manually.
I'm doing it manually.
Yeah.
This is again just a cost thing, right? Like
Right,
you
yeah,
can,
yeah.
all it would cost is a little bit more expensive mount, and it would be able to track the sun. Now, the challenge there is it takes more time to set it up initially at the beginning of the session. But then once it's set, you're good, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely kind of a trade-off, and I tend to like quick to set up
Yeah.
setups, but that doesn't mean that I'm manually adjusting things.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
but it's totally a personal preference and a cost thing.
Yep,
So
for sure.
combination of the two. Oh, and if we'd had these few clouds the whole day, it would have been great.
But are you able to like view anything? Of course, maybe some stars, right? Like, what else can you use this?
With this telescope, because of that filtering thing,
Yeah.
there aren't any other sources that are bright enough. So this is like a special purpose. Part of the reason I didn't want to spend huge amounts of money on it is a single object. Now, it's a pretty interesting object,
Yeah.
but a single object telescope. So these hydrogen alpha dedicated telescopes are really kind of just one object. But similar sized telescope, if it didn't have that filter, it's like in the middle of this, so you can't really take it out. But some of these telescopes that you'll see have filters on the front.
Yeah.
Like I bet that one there, and I know Ken's telescope. If they take those filters off after the eclipse is over, you can point it at Jupiter, Mars, nebula, star clusters, galaxies, things like that. So this size telescope could do that, but this telescope, because it has that filter in it, is useless for that.
So this is purely a solar telescope.
Purely solar. Yep.
Chris,
Yes.
I'm gonna head out, but thank you so much.
Thank you for holding down the fort here and helping work out the tech and
So that's
everything here. So
Yeah, no, it was
I
a
really
pleasure.
appreciate your
It
help.
was great fun working.